Oh, hi! Sometimes it's hard to be a child when everything inside of you wants to be wild. That's one of the first lines from the book that Daniel Turner and I wrote, called Sometimes I'm an Animal. It's a book about a little boy who imagines himself as different animals, and he keeps seeing himself in reflections as these animals. In a minute here, I'm going to let Daniel read the book to you, but before that, I want to show you a little bit about what it takes to make a children's book. After the story, I'd like for you guys to draw yourself as an animal seen in a reflection. All you have to do is pick out your favorite animal and think of a cool reflective surface that you could be seeing yourself in. When you're done, just send it to me. Thanks, and I hope you guys enjoy the story. I want to show you guys what it's like to make a children's book. I made this book with my friend Daniel. He wrote the story, and we started editing over the story, looking at which pages need to go where. That's called storyboarding. You can see it right here. Then, after the storyboarding, I start drawing the character himself, trying to figure out his different facial expressions, and a lot of these pictures don't even wind up in the book. They're just there to help me know what I want my character to look like. So then I draw with pen and ink and paper all the pictures, all the little illustrations, and some of these work out, some of them don't. Sometimes I have to erase parts and come back in on the computer and change them a little bit here and there. But there are all the pages together, and I didn't want to actually paint the originals, so I made copies. That way I could always go back and make other changes once I start painting, because you can't erase with paint. I actually used some of the same things you guys use: jars of water, simple brushes, palettes of watercolor paint, maybe a few more palettes of watercolor paint that you guys haven't used before, but one day you will. And that's the finished product after I've painted all the pages.
Sometimes I'm an Animal. Written by Daniel Turner, illustrated by Nolan Mueller. Sometimes it's hard to act like a child when everything inside of me wants to be wild. Sometimes I'm a lion and too wild to be tamed. Even though I brush and scrub, I'm wild all the same. Sometimes I'm a red fox when I'm sneaky and I'm sly, swiping from the cookie jar whenever I pass by. Sometimes I'm a hyena when I'm laughing on the floor. Even though I try to stop, I just keep laughing more. Sometimes I'm an alligator swimming in the water, cooling off my skin when the day is getting hotter. Sometimes I'm a monkey climbing high up in the trees, swinging from the branches like I'm on a great trapeze. Sometimes I'm a cheetah running fast across the grass, gaining speed and smiling at the animals I pass. Sometimes I'm a pig and I make a giant mess, piling dirty clothes so high they need their own address. Sometimes I'm a hippo and as hungry as can be, filling up my belly, eating everything I see. Sometimes I'm a bat when I'm playing at the park, hanging upside down until I have to leave at dark. Sometimes I'm a lizard lying lazy like a slouch, just sitting around watching TV on the couch. Sometimes I'm a kangaroo hopping all around, playing games with friends, leaping high above the ground. Sometimes I'm an elephant, forgetting all my cares, stomping around the yard, spraying water in the air. Sometimes I'm a giraffe and I stand up very tall, reaching to the highest height and hoping I don't fall. Sometimes I'm a leopard, dressed in spots from head to toe, sick in bed with chicken pox and feeling very low. Sometimes I'm a raccoon when I have a secret task, cleverly disguised in the shadows in a mask. Sometimes I'm a snake and I slither on the ground, crawling on my belly, careful not to make a sound. Sometimes I'm an eagle soaring high up in the sky. Jumping on my trampoline, I spread my wings and fly. Sometimes I'm a tiger in the jungle stalking prey, being extra quiet so they don't get scared away. Sometimes I'm a shark swimming all around the bath, chomping every fish and every bubble in my path. Sometimes I'm a rhino right before I go to bed, charging around the house with a horn upon my head. Sometimes I'm an owl and I stay up too late at night, growing wise by reading with a blanket and a light. Sometimes I'm a black bear when I stay up much too late, looking for a cave to lie down in and hibernate. Sometimes it's hard to act like a child, or maybe it's easy because children are wild.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed that story. Now what I'd like you to do is do an illustration of your own. Think of a reflective surface, and then also think of an animal that you want to pretend you're seeing yourself as in that surface. Draw it, color it, send it to me through your Google Classroom, or if you don't have Google Classroom with me, you can send it to relleumnalon@gmail.com. Thanks again, and I can't wait to see your drawings.